Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today, we're doing the ultimate beginner's guide to Doordash. I don't know why I counted to 3 on my hand, but we're doing the ultimate beginner's guide. I'm gonna try to walk all the beginners, or anyone, I guess. You don't have to be a beginner. If you want some tips and tricks, this is the video for you. But before we get started, if you guys enjoy these kind of videos where you learn a little bit, make sure you smash that like button, help out my channel, because those are the kind of things that keeps me going. So before you, or after you smash that like button, let's get this video started. All right, so I wrote a few things down that I really wanted to talk about. So for one, I talked about this yesterday in a video, and one thing that is the worst thing that could ever happen is you get into a car crash. So you either want to make sure that you don't tell them that you're dashing while you're driving, or you want to make sure that you have proper insurance, because most car insurances are not going to cover you while you're doing delivery driving or Uber or any of those kind of like driving apps, because that's a personal policy, that's not a business policy. And if you want your car to be covered and yourself and stuff, you got to get a business policy, which I believe they have under like Allstate. I don't know all the insurances, but yeah, Allstate's gonna have some, and then you just have to kind of tell them you're gonna be driving around, and that's something they'll let you know. I feel like that's very important. That's why I put it as tip number 1, because there's nothing worse than what happened to our friend Shauna the other day. She crashed her new car, told him she was dashing, and then now she's totally screwed. Tip number 2 is you want to be dashing at a specific time. You know, right now I'm dashing and it's lunchtime. So from the hours of, like, I would say 10:30 to 1:30, it's very, very crucial to be dashing during these times. 10:30 to 1:30, or like 4:30 to 9:30 during dinner time, you know? Unless you want to get up for like the breakfast hour, which I know a lot of people aren't going to be doing that. Those are going to be the most important times to be dashing. So you want to be strategic on the times that you pick to dash. Another thing is early scheduling. If you do have enough good ratings and you have like a 4.8 or above, you can qualify for early dashing, and then you have to have I think it's I don't know how many deliveries it is, but you have to have a lot of deliveries, and you have to have a good completion rate. I believe it's 95% or higher, and you can qualify for early dashing. So you can schedule all your dashes ahead, and you know, the people that are always planning, those are the people that are going to make more money, rather than people that just come and go and like here, just doing it here and there. Yeah, so then tip number 3, what I call casual dashing. This is what I do most often. So casual dashing is what I call when you are just like, let's say I'm gonna go to the gym, or I'm gonna go get food. For about 10 minutes before, I'm gonna log into DoorDash, and while I am about to go, like whether I'm waiting or if I'm driving there, if I get an order on the way and it's conveniently on my way, I'm gonna make that extra $5 to $10, you know? So that way, like, I can kind of like make money throughout the day, just doing the normal like errands that I would be doing, whether I was dashing or not, you know? So if you can make money just by like not even really like changing your schedule, I mean, I make $50 to $70 a day by doing this, and I don't even really like change my schedule. So that's another big tip. Another thing is dashing in your area. So not like where you live or something, but if you drive, like let's say, so the way DoorDash works is they split, let's say, to make it simple, that DoorDash splits up your city into 4 different areas. If you're dashing in one area, you don't want to take an order that's going to take you way over to another area, because you are not going to get any orders until you drive all the way back over to that area. I personally think this is something DoorDash needs to fix, because someone like me who knows that I'm not going to get any orders like that, I'm not going to accept orders, even if they're a good order, that go out of my area. The next thing is standards. Standards are something that is so important. If you don't have standards, like we all know the people that don't have standards in their life, you know, and you gotta set standards for yourself. Whether it's like $1 a mile or $2 a mile, the way I break it down is I only try to do orders that are $2 a mile, you know? So if I get an $8 order, I don't want the mileage to exceed 4 miles. So I'm trying to do $2 a mile. I am driving a Ford Explorer. It's not the greatest car for gas. Maybe if you're driving like a Prius or something, you can drop your standards down to like $1 a mile, or even less if you want to. But I personally find that I make a lot more money when I have a specific standard that I'm doing. And the only way I'm gonna break that standard is, let's say I'm like kind of far away and my dash is about to end and I need to go back home. If I get an order that's like 9 miles for like $7, but it's taking me right back to my house, then yeah, that's totally like convenient and on my way. And I'd rather make $7 and drive back to my house than not make any money at all. So you got to consider those kind of things as well when you're setting standards. Other standards and things are like, or other tips as well, are going to be like, you don't want to be driving super fast, because driving super fast and like wrecking your gas mileage that you're getting, that can really add up. I spend anywhere from like $80 to possibly up to $100 a week just on gas. And I know that's probably a lot for people who are out there driving Priuses. They're like, oh my God, you're crazy. But yeah, that's a reality for me. So I personally drive like I'm taking a driving test every single time. I'm not gonna speed, I'm not gonna do anything, especially because there's nothing worse than, for one, getting into a car accident, or two, getting a speeding ticket or something. Because depending on what state you live in, those speeding tickets can take up to like an entire week's of pay gone, just because you decided to speed and get there like a minute or two early. Like, save your gas and like drive as good as you possibly can, because it's not worth it. The next tip is like, only certain ratings matter. Not all ratings are created equal, as silly as that sounds, but your acceptance rate does not matter. I have anywhere from a 7% to a 30% acceptance rate, because I'm very specific on the orders that I take. I don't want to be wasting my time for people that are like cheap and they don't want to tip their drivers. You know, we are driving all the way to someone's, or to a restaurant, then we are driving all the way to their house, dropping it off. Sometimes you have to get out and you have to like look for apartments and stuff. That's something that's, it's just not worth it if you're accepting like an order that only pays like $3 to $5 or something. So for me, I always, you know, I just try to keep my standards high, and that's why I have a very low acceptance rate. The next thing is, I'm gonna bring up my ratings real quick to show you guys at the time. So the next thing is, hang on one second. So my ratings, here's my ratings real quick. So let's go over ratings. Customer rating, I have a 4.85. Very important that your customer rating is up, because they can't deactivate you if you don't have a good rating. The next thing is acceptance rate. Again, I just talked about that. It really doesn't matter. The worst thing you could do is like try to have like 100% acceptance rate, because you are going to be wasting so much time. The next thing is completion rate. Mine's only 91%, and I don't really do early scheduling. So right now I would not qualify for early scheduling, because it has to be 95% or above. And then the next thing is on time or early. That one, again, that doesn't really matter, but for like the sake of like your customer rating, you do want to kind of be on time. And like, yeah, I mean, you should be on time. But sometimes, like for right now, I'm waiting on an order that's already 15 minutes late, and they told me it was going to be another 10 minutes. So that's out of my control. I'm not going to try to keep my on time or early ratings up, because like sometimes it's out of your control and there's nothing you can do. And you don't want to like, I'm not going to like leave this order and speed to the person's house to make sure that I got there on time, because if I get a speeding ticket, not only did I get like a late order, but I'm gonna have to pay a speeding ticket, you know? So just don't worry about that one, because just be a good driver, you know? And like the last tip is just overall be a good driver, be responsible. Don't be eating the customer's french fries. Don't be like driving around, swerving around. Just be overall just be a good person. Smile when you drop off the person's order. Contact that person if their order is going to be late. Let them know. I already contacted this person, let them know. They're fine with it, I'm sure, because like it's out of my control. So just be a good person and be a good driver, you know? Like we all are a community, and for example, like I feel like the DoorDashers always have a higher standards compared to like Postmates people and something, because Postmates hire so many people that it doesn't even matter, you know? Like they are like, they've watered down their system completely. DoorDash holds a higher standards for their drivers, and so does Grubhub. Grubhub's also another good delivery system. All right, 3 more tips real quick. I almost forgot to add these in there. One, if there's an order that you're debating on accepting, and if it's not a good order and you might not want to take it, zoom in on the home to see where you're actually delivering to. If you're delivering to an apartment complex or a hotel, you probably don't want to take it, because those orders tend to take much longer. Another thing, if you have to consider your car's value. If you're driving around too much, it's kind of like running up an escalator going the opposite direction, you know? You're making money, but you're also devaluing your car very quickly. And then the last tip is you don't want to be, okay, so you got to know the area that you're driving in. If all the orders are like in a specific area, you want to drive to like an outlet mall or like a mall where there's a bunch of restaurants, because whoever is closest to that is going to be the person that gets the orders. So if you know where all the restaurants are and you live in a city where all the restaurants are in one specific place, you don't want to take orders that take you really far away, because you have to consider that you're not going to get orders way over here. You have to drive all the way back to that place to get the orders. So those are just my beginner guides, beginner tips for anyone who's out there looking to make extra money on DoorDash, because DoorDash is a very good way to make extra money. And personally, I've been making like around $2,000 a month since I started, and I barely do any DoorDash. I make $70 a day, and I call it. That's all I need to make. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video at all, please consider smashing the like button if you learned anything from today's video. And thank you guys for all who have already subscribed, but if you have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I'm slurring my words. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and then we can see you guys in the next video. I upload every single day, sometimes even twice a day, so there's always going to be new content. And my whole goal of my channel is to teach everyone as much as I possibly can from the tips and tricks that I've learned myself. And again, I do have a footwear company. It is called Off Axis Acrobatics. We make basically acrobatic shoes, but they're good shoes for like MMA athletes. We sponsor Tony Ferguson, who's a famous UFC fighter, and pretty much anyone who's like looking to get into good shape. They are thin soled, so they're good for your feet to walk around in, strengthen your feet. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. You can check it out at offaxisacrobatics.com. Use my discount code OFFAXISTanner for 30% off. That is my personal company that I own. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you guys haven't, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.